Eagle Eye Reports, a closer look at life at Maple River. When that final school bell rings, teachers and staff know it's a cue for summer vacation to begin. But some staff members stay at school for much of the summer. The technology department, secretaries, grounds crew, administrators, and custodians all have important duties before the next school year can begin. Let's take a closer look.
So when the school bell rings on the last day of school, basically we're starting to really prepare for all the summer cleaning that we have to do because this entire building gets cleaned top to bottom. All the furniture, all the walls, all the lights, everything. So what we do then is we try to put a game plan together, and then we just figure out what our game plan is going to be, and we just go from there. We start in one end of the building, and then we just work our way through, and then we just kind of jump around depending on what obstacles we have throughout the year.
All right. Typically, what we'll do is we like to kind of start already for the following year. So we'll go down to the elementary. We'll move. Those kids are switching grades, so we'll move their technology or their Chromebooks. That gives us a chance to go through them, see if there's anything that needs to be repaired or fixed. We can kind of get those sent in. That gives us a little bit of time to fill out in some of those pieces and make.
So it'll change. It'll get slower, and then we'll get fewer phone calls and emails. And I finish up senior transcripts and get those finalized and get them in the file cabinets for schools that may need them in the future. Take phone calls for scheduling. Sometimes kids need a schedule change. Answer any Infinite Campus. People are trying to buy supplies or buy clothing, so we try to answer all of those questions before school starts.
Yeah, the routine in the summertime is significantly different. People say that it slows down. It just changes. The hustle and bustle of 500 kids plus 100 staff in the building, at least on this end. It gets quieter, but still the decisions you make, we start looking towards the next school year as early as January. So January of 25, we're looking towards the fall of 25. And then it's just making sure that, we have staff in line and, getting ready, looking forward to the kickoff of school. So, although it's different, it's still busy.
Well, it all depends on what's going on that day. It changes from day to day, basically. But let's say just a normal day, if we got grass to mow, we go mow. We're kind of on a cycle. And right now, the way the grass is growing, once you finish, you've got to start all over again. In terms of if there's games going on that day, we'll usually kind of tag team. One guy will mow and one guy will go get fields ready, and then just kind of go from there.
The quiet months of summer also allows the opportunity to tackle some big projects.
This summer, I worked on several projects. We had 3 student helpers this year too. That kind of we shared between maintenance, grounds, custodial, and then also in the tech department. All the teachers' computers, we upgraded everything. They're stopping support on Windows 10, so I moved everything to Windows 11 this summer. So we had to touch all the computers, and that was a little bit of a task. There was a lot of time involved to make that happen. So that was one big project we did. Also, we do have some construction going on at the complex. The track is still, they're adding all that in. I added an access point out there. There's a few things I've been working with also with the new grounds building. So I still have some more stuff to do for that.
Okay, so some of the big projects we had this year were the biggest ones inside our building were obviously the addition of the 2 new classrooms. And that was a long process. And let me tell you, when they do construction, it makes a big mess. So we do our best to work around that construction and help them with whatever they need. That was 1 room on each end. So those were big. And another project is like behind me here is that the tile on our grand staircase kept breaking. So we were finding a resolution to fix that. And as you can see right now, it's all tore apart and we're getting ready to reinstall tile the correct way. One of the other projects was finishing of our concession building and then the addition of the ground shed for Jay. And that was a pretty big project. It didn't necessarily affect us so much inside, but as far as traffic outside, that really affected a lot of people.
It's been good. It's always nice to get compliments on how it looks out there, and it's been good. we're still trying to figure out all the kinks and tricks that go along with it.
How's that going to like make your life more efficient then? Just talk about like what the building's going to do for you.
Well, it's nice now that we have basically everything's in one spot, so we don't have to run over to Good Thunder, Amboy, or Minnesota Lake every day, which is nice. Everything's centralized. We'll have everything together, and just having everything in one spot makes our job a little easier, a lot less running around.
No, I mean, this year, being obviously the new building we've settled in, when we came here fall 22, new construction, we added one classroom, which is helpful. That's a huge relief to some of the pressure. It's amazing what even just one classroom will do just to kind of relieve some of the pressure with some of those classes and having to move kids from one place to the other. But, as far as big projects this year, nothing real tremendous. It's more of making sure that everybody's in place, making sure that we have schedules ready, make sure that the building is ready when kids come back.
So I work on basically resupplying the teacher's staff room. We'll order all of those supplies. I'll do some graduation stuff. Sometimes we'll look up transcripts for past students that need them for a future job.
After months of working in an empty building, the last few weeks of August are a dramatic change.
Kind of when it comes into this part of the year, it goes really, really fast. I know it seems really weird, but have all these projects and you kind of work through them and you kind of trying to finish those projects. You also have people that are starting to come back into the building. So they have needs, whether it was their room was cleaned or we missed something or they need something adjusted or changed, whether their desk moved to the other side or whatever they have going on. Those requests are starting to come in.
And that's exciting piece because on Wednesday we trained the new staff, and that's always a big piece is getting them all up and running in their rooms. I sit at my desk and do all kind of the behind the scenes stuff, so getting them all ready for that. And then on Wednesday we train, and so we try to show them all the different pieces of the Maple River technology and how we do things. Glean a little information for them about resources they maybe used in the past that we might want to know about here. So that's an exciting piece too. Also at this time of year, like for me, getting all the new students ready to go and all the resources and things that they're going to need to be successful. And I try to make it feel like you've always been here, like you weren't forgotten, you weren't missed. That's my goal as the tech person, is for them to walk in and their Chromebook is here and ready to go, and their online pieces, while they might not know how to get into them, but they are ready to go. I did know about you. I did have you ready. And that's one of the big pieces of August, as well as getting all those resources for our returning staff and students, but also for our new staff and students ready to go.
So the very first day, staff isn't too bad. We have a lot of meetings that we do together. And then the first day of school, when the students are here, it's a little crazy because not everyone prints off their schedules. So we'll be just printing those like crazy at the first day of school and making sure their schedules are correct.
Yeah, a lot of it with football field going on now, trying to get that ready, getting game shape, getting ready to paint here pretty quick, and then keeping up with the complex out there. And then also when kids come back to school, making sure everything's tidied up around the building as well.
Yeah, getting ready for kids. The excitement is always there every year. Whether kids believe it or want to admit it or not, they like being gregarious creatures and being around their friends. When fall sports begins, that's always kind of all right, here we go. And it's a slow build. And I'm not a huge rah guy of, all right, we're gonna have a polka band in the corner on the first day of school and try to make everything this fantastic, because it's a grind. And the fall excitement will help take care of itself.
When all the kids come back to school, I find it extremely exciting because, as we all know, people change and kids grow up and they get bigger, and the way they act changes, and their attitudes or their smiles. It's nice to see their smiles when they come back. And some of these kids are so excited to come back to school that first day is just great. It's nice to talk to them. Nice for them to say, hey, I remember seeing you and I miss you over the summer or something like that. So it's great, and it's a lot of fun to see them come back.